Today is a bit of a controversial video, and it's one I believe I touched upon in a former Assemble podcast episode with Daddy High Ruler. But today, I want to discuss why I believe Spider-Man should not use any combat gadgets in Marvel's Avengers. So let's get started with discussing one of the obvious points, which is Insomniac's Spider-Man. Insomniac's Spider-Man's combat is amazing, lads. One of the best in the entire superhero genre, in my opinion. The use of gadgets such as the impact web, suspension matrix, and web bomb come to mind as a way to pull off some spectacular, see what I did there, combinations. However, in Marvel's Avengers, I want them to take Spider-Man back to his origins. Spider-Man in the old days of comic books would have created his web shoot as a cool little spider, logoed flashlight, and been done with it. I feel like trying to use Spider-Man's already flashy combat and integrating his webs more so than anything else would be an excellent way of making up for the lack of clean web swinging. As we know, in Marvel's Avengers, it's not the landscape that Spider-Man has in his own game to perform the superior traversal that we know in Insomniac Spider-Man. So in that sense, we have to go deeper and use the combat as a way to express Spider-Man's acrobatics and use of webbing. If we rely too hard on gadgets to get us through, then I'm afraid that's going to be a lot more metal than webbing in the battlefield. In the comics of old, Spider-Man doesn't really like the Avengers. He disrespects them a lot and doesn't seem to like them at all. And this is going to go into a little bit of headcanon here, but this could also be a reason as to why the gadgets may not be like a big thing if they choose to go down this route. I believe Spider-Man in this universe is going to probably follow a similar thing. There's a very good chance that Peter Parker is going to be an experienced veteran who hasn't been Spider-Man in a good while. Properly, that is, due to just wanting to keep his family safe and assuming the Avengers are the true threat. In that case, having gadgets for your combat, less emphasis on just good old-fashioned web brawling, wouldn't really make much sense in my headcanon either, as how would he gain access to these gadgets, and do we really want to see Spider-Man use aim technology when we've already had that kind of thing with Kate Bishop? I think the long story short with this is that to differentiate between the two Spider-Men, we need a very clean-cut, old-fashioned Spider-Man that doesn't rely on gadgets besides his trusty web shooters to get him far. Now, here's the issue with that, ladies and gentlemen. If you were to ask me what his heroics will be, well, we'll have to discuss that in a future video. Ladies and gentlemen, my point is, just to go completely off the script just for a little bit there, is that this Spider-Man needs to be his own entity. And I believe that a way to do that is to just give him completely web-based combat. As we know, traversal's not going to be as good as it is in the original Insomniac game. So the way to get through that is to make it look webby and flashy in the combat as best as you can. And then whatever traversal ends up being. Thank you guys for watching so much today, my little opinion piece. I will be doing a stream tomorrow at 6 PM GMT to, get ready for the reset in Marvel's Avengers, so make sure to tune in on my Twitch channel. Can we get to 200 subs before the end of April? That would be amazing. And thank you guys. I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.